So let's talk the state of the economy in New World, January of 2021, beginning of January. So we've been seeing some really big changes in the market that I want to talk to you guys about. So first off, inflation is starting to hit a little bit from all the, the lock boxes from the event, along with the increased demand for Outpost Rush and Genesis and Lazarus. So some of the things that have been changing the market is that the gypsum system encourages people to do things that coincidentally generate gold. So right now, people are doing Genesis and Lazarus more than ever, which isn't a lot of gold generation, but it's more gold generation. And then Outpost Rush, you get a gypsum once a day from doing that. So there's an increased demand for Outpost Rush, which also, that one increases the amount of gold generated per day pretty significantly. And then the lock boxes by the end of the event will have generated on Hypop servers, 10 to 30 million coins. Realistically, probably 10 to 20 because not everybody opens them all the time. So still a lot of coins generated from that. And we are starting to see it in the markets finally. We have another, 8 days, 9 days to the event, something like that. And we'll see a little bit more inflation, but it's not as crazy as I would have expected. I didn't expect anything too crazy, but it's definitely inflating. But the weird thing is the inflation is not uniform. Certain items hold certain value, and some items increase a lot in value. And another big change that we've seen in the market, let me just go ahead and show you in the trading post. This one's just wild. These ones are crazy. Let's go through some of these in the trading post, some of the biggest changes have happened, and I'll explain why they're changing so you guys understand what's happening. So the one you may have noticed, and is the most apparent, is orichalcum ingots, of all things. So these are now so unbelievably expensive, and they still seem to be trending up. Now, I don't know if on my server 37 is the new high, or if they're going to keep going, because week over week, they've been trending up pretty fast. There's a few reasons for this. The biggest of all, though, is because this orichalcum ore is now unbelievably expensive. And there are a few possible explanations for this. The first explanation for that is over at the smelter. Every day, people can convert, where is it down? Oh, I'm blind. Oh, right here and here. Orichalcum ore into tolvium. Now that removed the bottom line out, so there wasn't even, because of this, before the price even went up, the stockpiles people had sitting around in their storage all got eaten up ahead of time. So there's no stockpile to hold prices down in light of different changes that have happened. And then another factor is that now you can use platinum in place of star metal to make orichalcum ingots, which just gives a whole nother avenue of things you can do to make them that encourages generation of orichalcum ingots. Then there are other factors, and these might be the biggest culprits. Making orichalcum ingots is a great way to get smelting aptitude levels. So just wanting to convert, wanting to get rid of those orichalcum ores and turning them into ingots just to get your aptitude levels is a reason to burn out all the orichalcum ore out on the market. And then weaponsmithing, mainly just weaponsmithing and a little bit of engineering, but weaponsmithing aptitude levels increase the demand for the orichalcum ingots. So anyone who's trying to get those legendary super patterns, the only real way to do weaponsmithing is with orichalcum. It's either that or quintessences, but they're both equally terrible, even at this price. So that makes those orichalcum ingots just higher and higher and higher in price. That's my biggest guess on what is controlling that. It's all those systems, and you put them all together into a sandwich, and now we have an absolutely asinine price for orichalcum ore and orichalcum ingots. That's the biggest change some of you might be noticing in the market, but that's not the only change. Ironwood planks are now much, much, much more expensive, and for a similar reason. And we are seeing ironwood at way higher prices. Not way, way higher. They were already kind of high, 0.3, 0.5 kind of stuff, but now they're just crazy. And again, that might be attributed to engineering aptitude levels, people trying to get those super patterns. Well, how are you going to do it? Well, you either got to use orichalcum ingots or you got to use ironwood planks. So that's my guess on why that's happening. Also, woodworking XP for converting ironwood. So it's just forcing the whole process through and making prices increase. Now, we are not seeing this for infused silk or infused leather. And I think the reasons for these is that there's so much more supply that you can never see, wire fiber, for example. You're not really going to see it go as high. And then we all know iron hide. Is it 2 words? ironhide, we'll never see this one be valuable. It's just never even valuable. Oh, and one more thing that's driving the, back to the one, Tolvium and Cinnabar. I forgot about this part of it. Tolvium and Cinnabar are now affordable thanks to being able to convert orichalcum and aptitude chests from, was it smelting or mining? One of them, they give Cinnabar and Tolvium. So that increases the possible amount that can be generated every day by a significant amount. And just put all that together, and now Tolvium and Cinnabar are affordable, which makes more people than before create their Asmodium every day. So it just, adding to the cycle of changes. Another change you may have noticed is infused health potions being really cheap. Really, really cheap. But the materials to make them, Azoth water and hyssop, are not so cheap. In order to make infused health potions, you have to lose a horrendous amount of money now. And so you may be asking yourself, why are people doing this? Why are they still making them? Why are there so many for sale? Well, the reason for that goes back to aptitude levels. People who don't do the math just go to Arcana and go, well, how can I get Arcana aptitude levels? Well, infused health potions are the biggest thing I can make. I'm just going to make those. And they don't think about any math. They don't do anything. That's just what they just go for that. That's the main reason people do it. It's the no-brainer. How do I get Arcana XP? It's make potions, right? It's definitely not the most efficient way, but that's what people are doing, and that's why you're seeing that. Another market that's obviously changing is the food market. Any tier 5 material is now over a coin a piece because of easy emerald gypsums, also because of cooking aptitude levels, like my 104 cooking aptitude levels. It's super easy to convert those into those to get, vials of Azoth. And it's just a real fun demand, plus also easy emerald gypsum. So everybody's just buying them and using them either for fun, for actual conversion. You do sometimes get like rich bear flank or get tarragon or something. So there's a certain minimum price threshold for it where you actually break even, and that creates a demand for food ingredients, especially the tier 5s. That makes them increase in value no matter what. They used to be like 0.15, now they're over a coin a piece. Another thing that we see because of this is we see a floor on the raw gemstone market. So any one of these now is going to have a buy order by somebody at some price because they want to either cut them or they want to turn them into gemstone dust. They want to burn them for something in order to get jewel crafting aptitude level or to get stone cutting aptitude level. So the demand for farming the aptitude system is high, and that is why now gemstones have a floor on their price instead of just being able to go through the floor down to nothing almost. Another thing you may have noticed is that I think they're all offensive and defensive, right? All those little bugs that you find on logs, salamander slime, Urshell turtle, whatever, blight, moth dust, they're all like 15 a piece or more. And the reason for that is because of the topaz gypsum attunement potions, because it uses those materials to make them. Although I think they nerfed it. I don't remember what it costs now. Oh no, they still cost one of every single one. You make them at your camp, by the way, in case you didn't know. But yeah, so that is why these are now super valuable. I used to be able to get them for a coin a piece, and now they're 15. If I had realized, I would have stockpiled hundreds of thousands of them and made infinite money. But anyway, that's why that's changing. It's just to do these every day. Another thing that has been changing lately, and it might be because of the cooking aptitude caches or chests or whatever, is that the gathering foods tier 5, at least on my server, are really cheap now. I can get the tier 5s for 2, 5, 10. Sometimes they're more, but generally they're pretty cheap now. And again, that's probably because of cooking aptitude caches. It made the prices of all the spices and stuff just fall through the floor. And less people need the rare mats now because the rare mats are not worth as much. When you see blister weave at 8 a piece, you're less incentivized to want to use luck food in order to get more. So that's another reason why we're seeing that change. As for the moat market, it's one of the few things that's very unchanged by all of this. The only thing, though, is water moats have become the least valuable moat on my server consistently. I don't know why. Life moats are rising in price, but they're generally hanging around their normal cheaper prices. Same for earth moat. Fire moats are hanging around their normal fire moat prices. I mean, it is all within reason. These ones are not changing very much. Well, this is a one-time thing. You won't see this every day. Literally this morning, these were 1.3, so you'll occasionally see something insane like that somewhere, but they're generally all around what they normally are. Like we look at death moat, it's, in range. So moat market is completely unchanged by everything. It's just hanging steady where it's at. And then another one, if you're not familiar, is that weirdwood and lodestone are now really valuable. and that's because all those elemental animals stopped dropping them. That increases the demand for that, and it increased the price of everything upstream from them. So Obsidian Voidstone's worth more. Lodestone bricks are worth more than they used to be. These used to be like less than a coin a piece. And then Weirdwood planks, they are also up, which increases. Okay, I don't know what that's about, buying that. All right, hell yeah, let's go. Anyway, Weirdwood planks are through the roof now. I used to get these for 2 a piece. Now they're like 6, which increases the price of ironwood planks, contributes to that. So, you know, it all goes full circle. There's a meaning for everything behind these changes. Oh, and one last thing that's changing is all these materials for attributes. So the one that controls, this one gives it con. And then we have iron battle metal, which gives strength. You know, they're all super expensive. They used to be at like 0.1 a piece. But these have gone up in price because of the timeless patterns. And these timeless patterns, whatever stat you want to use, it uses 10 of them to make the stat. So if I want con, I need 10 of those guardsman insignias in order to choose con. So that just, and then people are re-rolling on top of that because of these patterns, just increases demand even further. So that's your market update for January. That's what the trends are right now. That's what's causing those trends if you were curious. I'm not really sure how it's going to help or hurt you, but now you know why things are changing. I guess it really can help in ways that you think, oh, this might just be temporary, so I'll just buy a bunch of this, or this might be temporary, so I'll sell everything. I don't know whether or not that's a good idea. That's a whole nother video idea. But this one was more of like, you know, like watching one of those financial network shows, and they're just talking about, oh, this stock's up in price. Here's why. This thing's down. This is why. That's kind of more of what I'm focused on in this one. I just want to tell you guys, show you guys what's changing, why it's changing, and what it all means for the market as a whole. So again, keep an eye on inflation. Inflation is happening now, especially because of the gypsum system, but also the lockboxes is adding a temporary injection into the economy. But it seems like over the next few months, unless they add another way to throw coins away, we're probably going to see slow and steady inflation across all markets that make any sense at all to increase in price. So expect that over the next 30 to 90 days, just because of increased demand for Outpost Rush, which generates gold, increased demand for dungeons, which increases gold. And also crafting your orbs for those dungeons does not cost gold. It donates that gold to the governor of whatever town you are making them in. So gold does not get destroyed when you make those, by the way, in case you were curious. But hopefully this helps in some way, shape, or form. Now you know what's going on with the market. If this video helped you, or you found this video interesting, consider subscribing to this channel for more New World news, New World info, New World market updates, New World guides, that type of content. That's what I do. Also check the description below for links to my socials. If you want to join the Discord, keep up with that. If you want to join the Patreon for some small little insider trading tips here and there, or if you want to follow my Twitch channel for random Twitch streams of various games, you can feel free to do that, but that's more of a casual thing. But now you know what's going on in the market. This is your market update for January. That's what's going on. That's why you're seeing these changes, and that's what it all means for the market in New World.